So round 3, up against Greg and his Deathwatch. Greg was the tournament organizer. And first things first, mission was search and destroy, deployment, and taken hold, which is really a big factor. Deathwatch, one of those armies that can be quite hard to interact with just because they're a sort of very mobile, very shooty army. But because the mission has taken hold and because the deployments are quite close together, it really favours the more melee-oriented CSM list, because Deathwatch can't just hide on one expansion objective without conceding a lot of primary. And as I've got a lot of cheap units and sort of traitor enforcers, I can hopefully force Deathwatch out and hit them hard, because we both are very good at killing things, but neither of us have a great chance of just sitting in the open against each other. So that said, Greg's list, reasonably sort of standard Black Spear Task Force list. We have a couple of lieutenants for infiltrate, and I think this one gets full back in charge. Judica to try and stop things getting wrong. It joins the more aggressive, punchy squad and acts as a rapid ingress heroic threat. Captain Gravis Armor and a Watchmaster for some quite handy characters. Deathwatch veterans with the 4 Deathwatch hammers, which are the damage 3 ones, so they're very good at taking out possessed, to take an entirely random example. Intercessor squads for me to backfield sort of support and sticky objectives. A couple of Fortis kill teams. Whenever I play against these guys, I am so impressed by them. They are, the game went well, but I was so impressed by these guys. It did make me want to start Deathwatch, because God, they're brutal. Curse squad for some stuff. Hey, while mine was annoying, and then we forgot about it. Indomitable kill team, which is the more sort of aggressive style ones. It's probably how I keep referring to them as the rest. They can deep strike with their melter rifles and get extra range on them, so they can often deep strike and still be within melter range, which is annoying. And then the Catalyst Assassin for the effect and uppy downy. So yeah, pretty standard list, mostly a shooty list, and then they've got the Deathwatch veterans with the Judicar to try and stop a push. So this was my deployment. I ended up going first. This is before any of my movements, or at least I think, yeah. Although I don't end up doing a lot of movement. So yes, have my Reaver squad up over here. Have a Traitor Enforcer squad to either give them backup or to help just screen out the side of the board. We have a Rhino here, a Defiler here, lots of Possessed in the middle. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hold this one. The Combi Lieutenant is just out of shot over here on that objective. So we're going to be training primaries here and here for a while. I can use my Rhino to come in and try and threaten here, and then I've got all of these Possessed, so if Deathwatch ever try and stand in the middle, I can hopefully punch it in the face very hard. Defilers were sort of awkward to place because there's no way to hide them and the Possessed. I'm either having them exposed on this line or having them exposed on this line, or as you can see, actually both here. So I hit it here, put it back a bit so that if Deathwatch did uppy downy, they could get down and they couldn't get in their sort of extra melter range. And like, cool, I don't want to take some melters to the face, especially with the rest of the squad's guns. But if it's something I have to do, then sure. And again, the lone ops trumpet is nice because it keeps Deathwatch close, for fear of, lone opping and making the Defiler being untargetable, and then I can try and hit them with the Possessed. So yeah, Reavers and Traitor Guard just sitting up here. They're off the objective. I can just walk onto it turn 1, but they're nice and safe back there. Deathwatch deployment. Yeah, there's a horde of black power armoured bodies over here. Some more over here. There's another squad here. And there's the Combi Lieutenant hiding somewhere over here. The Judicar squad is ended up in reserve. One of my traditional very blurry photos. So just showing the Combi Lieutenant infiltrating up on the right-hand objective. So I ended up going first and doing not a lot. I just moved some possessed up. I moved Traitor and Forcer squad in the middle, and I moved Reavers up onto the objective, just trying to put as little out as possible and force Deathwatch to respond. So they had a couple of decisions to make. So they don't have any cheap units that can realistically take out my cheap units at the effective rate. So the question for them is, what do you do? Do you either hold your stuff back for my bigger stuff, which is going to be a problem because then I just keep on sending out little things, or do you go in bigger? So they decided to send to Uppy Downy to both of their, I think it's the Indomitor kill teams, the sort of aggressor style body one, and they put both them out. So one of them comes up here to try and take out my Reavers, and one of them's about to come and take out, or start to take out my Defiler. So yeah, left-hand view of the battlefield, you can see my screens denying space to Deathwatch. Got my wonderful little Traitor Enforcer in the middle, just trying to become a pain, and they've got line of sight to get to this Defiler. I've come off this line, so they can't deep strike anyone here and get it. But because of where the Possessed and Rhino are, if the Deathwatch deep strike, they can't get within their extended melter range of this Defiler. And, you know, a couple of melter shots are going to hurt, especially with lethal or sustained and all the nonsense Deathwatch have access to. But 18 wounds is a lot, and I'm pretty confident they can't chew through it, especially as I have the option to Overwatch and take a couple out. So, yes, Deathwatch turn. One of the squads comes out here. It can't see that many. I think it only actually ends up killing one of them. So it's some nice early primary from here for me here. And their Incursor squad comes out and takes the objective, and a lot of the indirect comes here. I would have rather have gone second in most ways against Deathwatch, force them to try and push the pace, but being able to set up where the sort of rules of engagement for the trades is quite nice. And it also means I can stick in my home objective, and then the cultists in fact move off the objective just to deny overforce. If they've gone first, then the indirect might have picked up the cultists and make holding my home a little harder. To counter that, I only had one cultist unit on the field, and one actually went in reserve for a change along with Morn, just so that if one got took out, I can sort of recycle them, as it were, use them as a scream, use them as an action monkey, and I can loan up one of them to deny Deathwatch an easy kill turn one, which again allows me to stick at the objective. So yeah, Deathwatch turn, it ends up being pretty bad. They only kill a couple here, they line up on the Defiler, and they do a smattering of wounds. I want to say it's about 8 or so into it. I do take an Overwatch on them. I only get 1 wound through, which is a bit disappointing. They roll quite well on their saves against the plasma. But yeah, Deathwatch means that they've got 2 of their big Gravis and Dominator kill teams out and exposed. And I can either move up and shoot them with the Defilers, or I can run and punch the one that's just here. Which is what I do. I try and bait out the Overwatch, move everything. I don't think one Defiler is going to be enough to take out here. Sadly, when I go to move this Defiler, the Deathwatch rather pop off with lethals and Oath, and they kill it, which I wasn't really expecting. I thought it would take some damage, of course, but taking it did about 11 wounds worth of damage, I think. So yes, kill the Defiler. I had moved Cypher in range to tax the Overwatch, which is very handy, and I make it all for a big play. So over here, I've obviously got Huron squad that have come out to try and take this squad out. We've got the Combi Lieutenant here. I deep strike Morn here to try and burn and kill the Combi Lieutenant. Means you can't reactive move away or anything. As it turns out, I put quite a lot of saves on the Combi Lieutenant, but he really spikes his Feel No Pain and he ends up being alive. It sort of works in my favour as I make a 9 charge with Morn to kill him. But yes, I move the Possessed up aggressively. I'm hoping to try and kill things and slingshot into this squad here. And it does force a rapid ingress from the squad that fights first within the Judicar. And we'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, bring the cultists here. I've gone forward very aggressively. I've got a chance to take out 2 units and potentially even take out a third. Sort of particular hammer unit, I'm definitely going to kill this squad, I'm not worried about them. So cultists come back, and then we have these sort of 2 cultist unit in the Trajan forces forming quite a nice screen in the backfield. The Reavers move to poke a little melter gun out at the aggressors while the Defiler comes up to get the actual shots. Sadly, the Defiler was over here, obviously wanted to come about here and get some shots here, but alas, not to be. So, have a pretty good shooting phase, to be honest. Mostly thanks to the Defiler. It pops off, it kills most of the squad, it leaves the aggressor captain alive on just a couple of wounds. I don't particularly want to engage it in combat, but it feels like he's going to charge me if I don't charge him, so my remaining Reavers charge in, kill the captain, and doesn't let back onto the point. In the middle, given I'm sending everything forward, I chuck Cypher forward. Because he's lone op, means he's probably not going to get targeted, and I'll have a body at the end on the objective, even if all the possessed and the traces and stuff die. And B, just gets that vector upfield and causing problems. The charge phase is a little disappointing here. I punched the Incursor squad that was here, absolutely destroyed them, and I'm able to get out the Callous into the bargain here. This squad, I wanted to get the Fortress kill team that were here. I needed about a 7. I'd have only been able to get 1 or 2 in, but that would actually work quite nicely, as then these guys could have piled into the Fights First squad and try and take out them. Obviously, with their 3 damage hammers, they are a very scary prospect. So the ability to get around bar Fights First and take out a chunk of them with Possess would have been lovely. Sadly not. So in the end, I feel like I sort of wasted one of these Possess squads. If I'd sent 1, I could have done the same thing here, and then these guys failed. The 7 is charged with a reroll. It's not the craziest thing to fail, but it is a shame and does leave him rather exposed. Very below shot here. This is just showing the Kelso screening out and Huron squad fighting the aggressors. So we're right of the battlefield now. You can see the Defiler for reference. This is the middle objective, and you can see, middle is very much purged of Deathwatch. I control all 3 of these objectives, so we limit Deathwatch's primary nicely, but we've got this wall of black bodies with lots of very scary guns ready to come and get me. And here I'm being gotten, or at least the start of it, so middle objective again as Deathwatch and things start coming out from everywhere to come and try and get me. So this is just after their charge phase. So Huron squad absolutely destroyed their way through the aggressors. Huron killed like 5 of them by himself, and the rest of the squad basically just had to watch on. And I've got 2 units on here. Fortress kill team came out. Both possessed squads ended up being Oath and Second Oath due to Deathwatch shenanigans. One of them was completely blown away by shooting. God, Deathwatch Fortress kill team shooting is absolutely brutal. And then they charge it to my possessed on the objective. So this is them after they have fought, and I'm feeling quite under pressure. I felt like, I've had a good turn, but I've exposed too much. The Deathwatch would come in, they kill 7 of the possessed, along with everything else. And maybe they kill 1 less, and I feel like I have one more. But they kill lots of the possessed. These guys come in to try and charge in. They actually kill so many that they don't get to attack, and then these guys end up absolutely popping off in return. So I think I did Fight on Death, and I killed a couple, and then I had a couple of possessed left, so they went for they used their devs and their reroll wounds, and they take out this whole squad by themselves. Sustain, reroll 1s to hit, wounding on 3s, and devs. They just deleted this squad, and suddenly I went from feeling quite under pressure to in a very strong spot almost instantly. Deathwatch, home field, they've still got stuff back here, but it is a little more out the way, and it definitely doesn't survive combat with most of my squads. So, middle objective, top left objective, Reavers take a charge from a Fortis thing. The Watchmaster bounces and the rest of the squad do essentially nothing, so only there's one dude here. Deathwatch still retain the objective. But while Deathwatch's shooting started off really nasty, just blowing away this possessed squad, this squad low rolled and didn't do much. Yeah, there we are. 4th possessed, knew it was. And when their combat sort of whiffs, it leaves the CSM in a good position, especially as this Defiler is here and untouched. So yeah, 4 possessed, absolutely pushed away. It means I get a nice hold more early on. And the 2 hammers have connected, and most of my hammer is still alive, so I'm in a very strong position going into my turn 3. So, Euan and friends move up. The Defiler tries to take out some stuff on the left flank, and then I start just chucking units at this squad, this Fortis kill team. Not really try and kill them, although that's obviously a nice thing to do. But I've got 3 separate units here, all of which are toughness 6, and they've got 13 wounds, I think, between them at this stage. They just want to run up, tag this, stop Deathwatch from falling back and doing anything, kill this squad, and then just stay in the mid-board for next turn. And I have another really nice turn where the Defiler pops off. So again, we've got this Fortis kill team squad, and the Defiler looks at them. It rolls well on its pact, and it absolutely takes the entire squad out. And Deathwatch is suddenly the game is essentially over at this point. So yes, lots of squad ready to charge Deathwatch and just tied up. Euan and friends ready to take out this kill team, and yeah, again, when things are going well, sometimes things go well. I kill like 5 of the squad just from this squad shooting. Euan punches the rest. We've got Cypher here. We've got all this stuff here ready to go. Morn's Flamer comes in and does some damage. Yeah, this is the last photo taken because Deathwatch just have this kill team in combat that takes some amount of damage against most of a CSM army, and CSM win. Final scoreline was incredibly brutal. It was the big win of the weekend. I won 100-26. Halfway through Deathwatch's turn 2, I was like, "Oh shit! Have I messed this up with the 2 possessed squad being there rather than just the 1?" But when the Judicar squad couldn't take out the possessed and got rinsed in return, it just ended the game and everything cascaded so quickly from there. So yeah, very nice win for the CSM. Absolutely brutal from them. Everything when it needed to pop off did pop off, and ended up in a really brutal victory.